about the sense of entitlement that people have, and they don't even say shukr.
Yeah, they don't say shukr.
In fact, it's like even to remember to say shukr is like they're so involved in that sense that they deserve everything.
You don't believe it's coming from Allah, you believe it's coming from you. You work hard, you get it. Isn't this what dunya is teaching? Especially in America. And it's showing results. It's showing results. But we are believers, we know everything is coming from Allah, no? We're not saying to people, don't work hard. Don't twist it into another way. We're not saying to people, don't work hard, don't aspire, don't build, don't succeed. If this was the essence of Islam or spirituality, we would not move from the deserts. But how is it that you're able to keep this balance of reaching for the stars in terms of the knowledge of this dunya, but never asking for yourself to be worshipped? That's the time you need the inheritors of the prophets to balance the things. That's why the Ottomans, they were always holding on tightly to the awliyas to keep it down. What were the Ottomans they doing? They're doing like Hazrat Umar is doing. What is it that he's doing? Remember we went to Sulaimaniya Masjid, Jami? Who was there with me? Remember? And then there was a way that the Sultan was going to walk down with his horse, and they put a chain there so that the Sultan has to bend down his head. And there is a person that the Sultan pays money to be there to say, Ya Sultan, remember Allah is higher than you. Just as the man that Hazrat Umar paid money to say, Ya Umar, remember death. Remember one day you're going to die. This man is like this, he's reminding like this. Man is like this, they're reminders, zikr, reminders. You understand? More you're reminding, more you will be humble, but you will aspire. You will do things. You will run to do things. When you don't have that remembrance, man is just going to become like this, more. Because kafirs are doing that. And it seems to be working now. But let me tell you something. Just because you work hard doesn't mean you're going to get it. So many people work hard, they don't get nothing. Even in this country. So many people, they don't work hard at all, and they get everything. So what now is that logic? So yes, if you don't have reminders around you, people who are grateful, and it becomes a system of living, a lifestyle, man will forget. Allah is saying, man, majority of them, most of them, they are what? Ungrateful, and they forget. That ayat that we mentioned in the khutbah is heartbreaking, no? Why is it heartbreaking? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla Jalaluhu is saying, I created the sun and the moon and everything for you, but mostly they are ungrateful. So what is your question?
How to constantly remind yourself.
Be around people who are ahli shukr. This is not a technique. This is not a theory. This is not something that you can read. Be around people who are ahli shukr. You understand? Who are these ahli shukr? Not when they get good things, when bad things happen to them. You see how they react to it. You see whether they smile or they're going to cry, whether they're going to complain or they're going to be patient. Then learn from that. Everybody knows how to behave. Everybody knows how to be shukr when something nice happens for one split second. But be around those ones that they know how to behave in those situations. Watch them. Like I said, then learn their techniques. How they are patient. Because they'll learn from someone, that one learned from someone, that one learned from someone, and they all learn from the inheritors of the prophets. Because there's no way that you'll be able to have sabr if you are not holding on to ya sabur. If not, then you're just going to learn some techniques that it doesn't work for you. And to be able to get that, it'll take some time. It's not so easy. because your ego is going to hit back. How many years you allowing your ego to be free? At least say, that many years my ego is going to fight back to me. Don't think, oh, I took bayat, I took shahadat. It's a miracle. Everything is going to change. No, it's not. You just took the first step. And that first step you took, you may untake it too. Prophet ﷺ did not build this religion, or this ummah, or this spirituality with magic and with karamats. He did not. He's teaching mankind how to use their will. You understand? So use our will. Watch them, be with them. That's why Allah is saying, be with the salihin. You know all this. Everything I'm telling you, you know already. It was one of the difficulties 8 years ago. I said, what can I say? Everybody knows already. What can I say on top of my sheikh's words? I said, never mind. Let me just remind to myself. But everybody knows. But you have to be with those ones who are actually doing it. They are the knowers. They are the arif. Because they don't read.
So one of the things that I was thinking, that usually the way they teach things in this time is first they go with the book knowledge and then they go into practice. Whereas it seems that the way you and in old times people have taught is first they start with some skill, and once you learn something then they go into more theory, because now you can actually understand what the knowledge is, because you know something, you have some experience.
In the first place, in the old days, although education is for everyone, but only a few are selected when they have high intelligence to actually learn and to study and to become better. You start off, as with everything else, apprentice. You become an apprentice. You don't go to school necessarily. Very few people. You apprentice. Apprentice means what? You observe the one who is doing it. And so you learn. You want to be a businessman, you sit next to your father who sells. You don't go to business school. Doesn't make sense. You learn everything, ins and out. And then later they say, now you may go to school to learn, and then there is knowledge on top of knowledge. But if you begin now with just a book knowledge, you don't have any real experience. You sit with someone, every time we have book knowledge, whatever high university you come from, whatever degree that you get, you know that you always have to, in the beginning, apprentice anyway. Whether you're a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor, you have to sit and you have to observe. And so many times you know, I mean, you went to medical school, you know that they'll laugh at you. They'll laugh at your knowledge. And the higher that you go, the more they say, now whatever you learn, you have to unlearn it. Yes or no? Whatever you learn, you have to forget it, because now you're reaching higher and higher. Now the foundations itself, it says these foundations, it's only to reach you to here, but to reach to higher station, you cannot use this foundation anymore. The ladder only reaches to there, but beyond that there is something else. The Mi'raj Sharif, the Prophet ﷺ, he made the Mi'raj not with one way of going up, so many ways of going up. The Burak is only one. You understand? Then to reach out to the different paradises, to the throne of Allah is different. Then from Sidratul Muntaha is a different vehicle, different transportation he has to take. So it changes. Knowledge must change. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying what? In the ayat that we quoted, Allah has covered everything with knowledge. Everything. Everything Allah has covered with knowledge. But that knowledge must reach back to its creator. That knowledge, if you cut off the creator from that knowledge, you start worshipping yourself or you start worshipping creation. That's why there was no conflict when Islam when the Muslims, they first came out of Arabia, and they met all this knowledge from different civilizations for thousands of years, there was no conflict. They didn't say, oh, this is all un-Islamic, un-Arab, and they destroy everything. No. Because Allah is saying about knowledge, now they have to discover that knowledge. And they took that knowledge and they made it better. So people are saying, well, that knowledge you have to read from books. No. Well, aren't the holy books books? No. They're not. Or is he saying they're not books? They are made into a kitab, yes. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send a book to Hazrat Musa that he is opening and he's reading. He did not send a book to Hazrat Dawood alayhi salam. The 100 suhufs that he sent to the prophets and the 4 kitabs he did not send as a book that they read and then they read. It came to their heart. And the ayats came, why? Especially with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. The ayats came, why? Just like that, just out of the blue? The ayats came as an answer, as an explanation, as an understanding of whatever that is happening around. So there is a context. Right? So, even in religious knowledge now, if you are going to take out the religious knowledge away from spiritual knowledge, which is the adab, because in the old days people had adab, you don't really have to go to spiritual schools. Let's leave tariqat out first, okay? They know not to read the Quran on the floor, for instance. They know not to cross over food, for instance. They know how to be humble, for instance. All these things, because everyone was practicing that. Spirituality is the essence of religion. So people were practicing the essence. For those ones who are important for them to learn the religion, then they learn. But they're not separated from that adab. But once that whole worldview and world system of that adab is destroyed, and all you have is the religion, then that religion that you have is the most dry, the most easily manipulated, the most angry kind of religion that we have. This is what's happening. So people will run from 2 extremes. One extreme saying, no, we just have to have the law, nothing else. Or they run to the extreme, no, we don't want this rigid toughness of it. We just run to complete spirituality without anything. Both sides will fail. As the Prophet ﷺ is saying, my nation in the Akhir Zaman, they're going to run after the Jews and the Christians. In that manner, step by step. May Allah protect us from that. We have that. We're trying to get rid of it. May Allah forgive me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.